No, but this is perfect because, yes, I have like 200 health points left, but health is a resource all these games, right? So this is like perfect. As long as I don't take more damage right now, then this is the perfect game. Because you want to take maximum damage, right? It sounds weird, but the more damage I take, you know, the more robots I have alive, right? You only have few robots, so by sacrificing my health point to have very low robots now, I can really, like, you know, maximize my DPS, right? So you should, it's like, honestly, it's a perfect thing, right? To go down to like 300 health points and one more attack on me. That means that I perfectly use my health pool as a resource to beat the boss. Because like, if I had more health points, right? If I had more health points, yeah, then I would be, how to say it, like, if I had more health points, I actually would be playing worse, right? Because in this game here, you can't play it perfectly. So, hello everyone, Mono here. In this video, I'll teach you how to code using FF7. You're gonna play Gears and Gambit, and when I was a kid, I actually beat every boss in FF12 by the Gambit system, right? Like, it's AI, I can leave the controller, so this thing to me is very natural, and I spent the whole week actually at a conference for like a game engine, let's call it a game engine, and so I'm coming out very fresh in my head how to make scripts and so on. I've been AI scripting for like the 50 hours this week already, so this to me is like very simple, but it's very much simplified of course compared to actual AI work. But that being said though, this actually is pretty hard. So I'm gonna show you my loadouts, right? You can look at my doing the different bosses, and that's one thing I think you like the video here, that I will show you each setup, right? I mean, I honestly think it's probably the hardest part in the game, because even with the correct setup, some of these boss fights you really have to spawn the robots in the correct order as well. It's basically, this is a guide you actually need, I think, if you're bad at this thing, because man, yeah, you need to spawn the robots in perfect order, use the ability at the correct timing. It's very, very like minuscule on the hard mode. On the first one, you can spam them by just doing very cheap fire robots. But I will show you my build end up here. This is my best build here for beating the tank here, so to speak. But I will go over it of course in the video. And if you subscribe, press the like button, and I will also of course explain to you how to code better guides, like how to think a little bit as a scripter, as a coder. In the middle of the video, I will show you my kind of general thought process, right? You know, playing in normal mode, how I like set up my scripts or whatever, and that's kind of like a basic learn how to code 101. But then we get the hard mode, and that's a bit okay. This is how you actually do it. But this is much harder than the other part of the game. Seriously, hard in a different way though. Not like, you know, the Gym Tifa hard, right? Oh my god, or like the Leapfrog hard. This is more hard on, like, you have to like perfectly do it, even with the correct scripts. And I'll say lastly, I will make a pretty good point, I will say, on the first one, on hard mode, where I use my health as a pool, right? So I go down to like 1% health, and I kill the boss in like 10 seconds. And that's also a good strategy, I think, in many games, right? Where you're like, well, my DPS is high enough to ignore the enemy lanes, right? So there's 3 lanes, you can ignore the other lanes if you DPS hard enough on one lane. Yeah, so that's another strategy as well, I'll show you in the video. But anyway, let's get into it. Exactly, it's like we're using some element. How do I even change them? What? How do I? No, you just pick different outlet. But you can't change the robots, right? Well, I see at least. I don't think so. The only thing I can do is like change my elements. Can't even change my robots. Seems super boring. You just offensively lower them. But how do I can't change my robots, if I see correctly. You can only change like what ability to use. It's honestly really boring. You have to like code them when you're playing the game. That's how it works. I guess so. Yeah. Put more currently is playing like the. So here you want to control the robot to shed the fire better. So that one is like an ice, right? So you want an ice robot. Well, this is super basic. Yeah, obviously you can probably get them more advances later. If you want to. What do you want now? Like electric? No, fire beats ice, right? I will have fire. What is fire electric? They want electric. Can you like change the gambits now then? How do I change the gambits? It's all the place, right? I should have I don't even want to stack up robot on one place, so that is like. That one's a bit more lane now. So ice against fire. Yeah. Oh, that you want well. Power. Bam, baby. But then now here I can do welding with the robot here. Probably no purpose to save your robots. Your meter, I mean. He got some mobility, I guess. Yeah, now he's like powering. So that is what? Yeah, is the one nothing in the middle? So that's obviously a fire one, but the other one is like nothing. We need an ice one. Here's like a weaker. What, he ignores him? Yeah, he ignores him. Am I lose now? No, he has his help on this. Yeah, so you have like two attacking. But the flawn is that he ignores him completely. Maybe it was his crown, I guess? It's a flawn king or something like that. Maybe it just maybe it just ignores your stuff. I don't know. This one obviously is like free because it's the first time, but I guess you have to be worried for these guys. They kinda like ignore your robots. Just go for the kill anyway. Well, yeah, just know the minigame. Change them, okay. Now it actually becomes a little more FF12. You're gonna AI code them. Can I change them still though? So you can code them now, but oh, here we go. Yeah, obviously. Jesus Christ, it's gonna keep going here. What more do they have then? I think they have some interesting bits anyway. Self-modify. Okay, yeah, this thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's have it. It's obviously easy coding. Let me show you guys now. This is very easy coding, right? Another 10 minutes, we can stupid game. Just let me do it, okay? You know what I mean? This is easy. So the way this works, right, is a basic script. So you have to use the pure sense order to script, like if statements, right? So for example, if I want to heal myself, I press it now. 50% less health, heal myself. Now I have to change the order, right? So it's over the top of here. How do you do that? Can I change that? Oh, there, I forgot. A clumsy controller. But anyway, so the way it works, right, is pretty basic, right? So first of all, and I coded FF12 as a kid, right, you know, so you play it myself the whole game, right? Yeah, it's super easy. Very basic coding, right? First you pick a skill, like heal, right, you know? You say heal, you say, well, if I'm half life, then I should heal myself, you know? Then you pick, okay, use my element, okay? Then we against ice, then I use ice trap, because I'm an ice robot. If there's limited ice, if it's as strong as ice, I use lariat, which is a basic thing, right? So it's very easy, right? If I have like a condition, you have a trigger, right? So you only heal if you have low life, right, you know? And then, something else. Some weird ability they have, they can like, improve themselves. Something. They cost a skill, I think. Wait, is it a passive? Yes, okay. Let's see the fire for all abilities. Let's see ability, okay, so we can't have level here, right? Let me show you how it works. Bam, bam, bam. So level here, this is making a sense, right? I want to buff myself before I attack. So here you just press self instead. You shouldn't have self 50. You just have self, right? And then have bravery. Bam. Now look at the enemy's stats. Okay, fire weak. Okay, should fire something. Not fire weak. You know, use lariat, right? They have all abilities too, right? You use affinity all. Missile costs you weight. Does more damage. So I'm going to fire one more aggressive, right, you know? Yeah, like that. And we also have this one up here. So now we have, actually this one here, like that, bam. Right. So now we have like that, bam, yeah. So now we have, you know, first of all, reduce our cost, okay, minus 20. Buff ourselves, right? Doesn't care about health. This trigger is basic code, you know, all the thing. Then fire shot if the enemy is firing. If it isn't, use missile. Right? This, for example, will never attack an enemy that is if it has out of fire and missiles, right? You know, it's the best code. Right? And then the last thing. Some health points. You can't use too many abilities. Probably get more later. Okay, it doesn't have, but you can also buff all the else, right? So now then, if you want to make your robot heal, right? There. Now I made an electric robot that will shoot healing at his allies, right? If they need it. Then I will also rewrite this thing to ally, and now I can do like this. Now barrier shot. Stop with that. So now we have it burying allies, healing them. Then it fights electric enemies if they're weak against electric, then otherwise it's near neutral. Set forward. Let's go. How do I confirm this thing here? So look at my next robot now. Now I've coded a robot that's gonna heal his allies and buff them, right? So here's a fire guy, right? Use electric. This is a good test step because if you look at my how I coded them, you're gonna buff each other first time with barrier shots. Yeah, so take less damage. And then they're gonna use their lightning ability, which is boss weakens lightning, right? So easy code check. If this event is true, do this thing, right? Here comes a fire dude. Both all of them are fire. So if you're bringing 3 of them like this, yeah, we're gonna heal buff shutter. Now if I make a new one here, right? Now I have made, where is it? This could, maybe you could have more gambits and see all people. That'd be interesting. But anyway, I made the fire would be like burning itself, right? So it does like, it buffs itself to do more damage. If I set the spawn a fire over here, it's gonna buff itself and start fighting with it. So now this fire over here has a bravery, should more damage to it. So it's pretty good if you have like an open area, right? I mean, another fire over here now. Maybe I need another fire now. Hey, perfect timing. Spawn a fire over here. So now the fire was in the back doing high damage. Because I made them all to be like self-buffing and focusing on his damaging, right? My portal. This is super easy, seriously. Like, you just use your, yeah, and I mean you can use this like this ability right now to do the best to. It's weird, honestly. Damn, again, my guys, throw at it. Tank one? No, this will lose though. Is that a deal one? I think so. That is like a white one who's having a weakness. I think so. But this is like coding for kids, right? This is like coding for 5-year-olds, yeah. A 5-year-old can code this thing. This is like buff yourself attack, yeah, it's super easy, man. Oh god, I'm on work damage, man. Never get off work. If you can't play this game, I need to try. Yeah, learn to code. Oh, it's super easy. Jesus Christ. It's been far too easy. But this game, just like Fort Condor, really easy for you if you stack guys with health or whatever, right? So, like I stacked DPS and fire with high range, so the buff is shorter and the self, right? So the opposition are gonna crush it on the sideline, so you gotta stake up a lot of range kind of get. Like I said, when I was a kid, I coded FF12 or skipped the FF7 Gambits, right? So I could play the whole game, all the bosses, by just letting the AI fight for me, right? So this is not to compare to that. That being said, now they have one more ability, so. Oh yeah, so now you need more flying. Okay. Let's see. So you have one more tick now. Do you have something new there? Let me see here. I think everyone probably needs to have the grav shot. If the enemy has like flyers, that's the new thing, right? So what we do now, right? Basic coding. Is gonna not press the button apparently. I can't go back in the game. It's a little bit annoying, honestly, but anyway. So we have our bridge up. Sorry. What I will say is that we wanna, you know, haven't played the stage yet, but reading the text, right? It's like flying enemies. So you probably want to prioritize basic code, right? An if statement, like what is first, right? So first, look at are they flying? Yes, they're flying. Use anti-flying, right? They're not flying. If else, right? Okay, else they are ice weak. Okay, use ice. Okay, they're not flying. They're not ice. Just punch them with lariat, right? So what you want to do here, of course, is changing this order like that, right? So now we get more health. We will always heal each other if you're low life. If they're flying, just flying. Now we have like an anti-flyer, anti-ice based thing, right? And also healing and stuff. Then this guy. So you don't have too many attacks in the game. Like for example, you don't have ammo. I don't know if you need like double flying though. I wonder if you need that. I want to see if the game has for support now. Yeah, because the game keeps giving you new stuff, right? So you can make it be like really cheap, so you can spam a lot. So I think we're gonna try that. So then we reorder it like that, right? So we get like cost minus 60, glass cannon, you know, this to me makes a lot of sense, right? It's not like a glass cannon, right? Low life points, very very cheap unit, but it has brave on itself, right? So it does more bonus damage. Then we spam missiles, right? This for me feels like a classic unit, right? Fire, glass cannon, very easy of course. And then this last one here I'm using for healing and so on. So I'd like to have the same thing if possible now. And like, okay, it's unfortunate it has so few healing, but maybe it's better, right? If you re-change this thing to something else. So maybe this one. No, actually they can only have it once anyway. Whatever, forget about it. They only have one ammo. If you have like infinite cure shots, you could basically code an AI, right, to heal the other ones and constantly heal them. But you can only shoot one hit anyway, so let's ignore it. So I'm making like a barrier healing robot, and also giving it anti-flying, always airborne. Yeah, the shot. Pure over it. Actually, I realized that now. That was bad there. Sorry. Yeah, that should be always airborne, of course. Yeah, shot. Like that. That's how you call it. Yeah, sorry, that's down with me earlier. Here you also can change this one. But this was like maybe it did last time. Always airborne. Maybe also there. There's something weird in this game. How does that fan? Okay, there we go. I haven't even played it yet, but I feel pretty confident. Unless airborne isn't a big deal. But I feel pretty confident for this thing. How do you start it? There we go. Yeah. Coding with one then. FF7. Okay. So now it's Fire Week. So I'm not a big fan starting with this guy though, but let's do it anyway. So the cheap ones are, they feel much cheaper now, right? The fire ones, that's kind of build. So we go with the fire one immediately. Really good against the stacking of damage over there. Probably with another fire over there. So built on range is alright. Look at that. So they're like buffing yourself, stacking with fighting. That was lucky, I guess. Like a flying one spanning at the fire ones. That's perfect. Now, these blue ones are healing themselves. Or tanky. Does it have any weakness? It's like a white flat, I think I have no weakness. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think so. There's like generic fonts. Not a flying one. You need like an ice. Well, they're all prioritize like shooting flying anyway, so. Honestly, I don't know if you actually needed that. Well, I guess it's better still though with the ground stuff, like whatever. The point was that every robot would have grounded it anyway, because they're all you know, coded to always ground them first. Right? So that should work fine regardless, probably. Like here, right? This robot will be grounded, even if it's good against it. Like regardless, what you can do. That, yeah. I really like these red ones now. Yeah, they're like really good for their gas cannon build, right? Much cheaper, spam them out, do high damage. I think it's clearly the best build in the game. I haven't even used ability yet. Yeah, like whatever. Just blast it. Just blast it. Yeah, just smack it. Yeah, I think it's super. It's like running Hello World, man. Well, I mean, it's basic scripting, right? And I hope it has a hard mode. No, now I kind of want to play a hard mode. Now I kind of want to play a much harder difficulty. Yeah, but there's another platform there. Yeah, it's another one. If I think correctly, I think that, I think. That's how I go down then. Is this the same floor? This is the sixth fight, yeah. This place is so confusing. Oh yeah, I remember this tower now. You know, tower, but it's like a little house inside here. Oh, so this one, I think? Yes, okay. You can see it now actually when I look at it now. This is how you get into that. Yeah, from this angle you can see it. Okay. There we go, bro. Finally did it. Learn how to write if statements. Okay, you can know how to use advanced stuff. What? I don't see any more places though, but because every time we get more ability, right? Let's see what we have. So do we have? Yeah, now we got another tankier one. This is super good though. Let's see if attacks. Oh, Hyper Lariat. Maybe it costs 10 more. They have this shock one. What do you mean then? Oh, here we go. Now you can see everything. Okay, so now we have, yeah, heal everyone 3 times. This is very expensive. Yeah, let's get more of that. Okay. So you get some barriers. I don't understand how the game. What was the requirements? There is a plus sign, but I don't understand what the requirements were. You said like to use the plus sign you have to like I don't know. Doesn't really explain it. What I wish is we had more options, right, you know? I wish we had more options to do stuff. But anyway. So here instead this obviously the robot costs way more. But I think like healing the whole team, right? That's a way great skill, and you can actually modify this thing here now. And I would say an ally, right, has low health in everyone instead. That means it's really good. Now Lariat costs more, but you know these ones are really like kind of expensive, so I go with that. The Blizzard one. Now this is my glass cannon build, right? Here instead we could have probably like braver than everyone, right? In this game now, I think it's making it more expensive, but I don't think this is interesting because it is worth it. They will, you know, buff the other ones too, but maybe this isn't worth it because you kind of spam this one, right? You get a lot of them out. In that sense, arguably it's better if an other robot can buff these guys, right? That's probably a better build if anything. So yeah, I don't know if I actually really want to have that thing. Oh, I see. So to be able to use these ones, you have to survive. Okay, now I get it. So the plus thing is pretty basic, right? Basically, you have an ability, and like in most scripts, right, you have a double condition. So it's like, oh, if the enemy is half-life, shoot. But also, to activate it, there's an AND, right? An AND or operation. So it's an AND operation. So basically, you need another statement as well, right? So for example, to use haste field, you also need to have like either low health, you know, live for a long time, or have 1 win, right? I would say this thing here would be easy for like you know, like a glass cannon, right? So I will make the glass cannon have haste field, and I'm gonna make this one the ally kind of guy. He will have Fate instead, Bravery, I mean. So he's gonna have like this, okay? I'm gonna make him do ally, and I will give him Bravery AoE, right? Like that. And he's gonna have the high priority. It should mainly be that thing. And here likewise, we can edit this thing to be barrier shot, right? Yes. And then you probably don't need to actually care about having this thing even if it costs more. I don't think so, because I mean you put on the other ones. It might make it way too expensive though, but now it buffs everything. This one has more glass cannon, but it's cheap. And kinda like to give this guy something else to do as well, right? So what more do we have for these like super skills? How do you see all our skills again? Press a button somewhere to see every weird skill in the game. Here we go. So like improved. This one fits pretty good. It's like a tank. So if you make him tankier too. And this one I feel will survive. Also tanky has more health though. So honestly it's probably easy to have like current talking about 2 enemies and make it even more tanky. Yeah, super tanky. But actually, you know, think about it, it's probably easier to survive seconds. And then we remove this thing, right? We have shock instead, which is a better ability. So we put it higher, this one higher. Then I remove shock instead. And then I rather have you can only have one buff. You can only have one plus, I guess. Let's see. Remove this one. How do you remove it? Remove it. Let's see. Can I have like a buff instead? Here we go. Augmentation. Survive. See, it's easy here, right? Because think about this thing. They both have the same conditioning, like survive for a long time, right? So I don't really see how that. I mean, it's gonna be easy, basically, right? So these have the exact same conditions. The game seems to be fine with that. I really don't see how that can be easy, right? You know, I make a tank, make it healer, stuff for half a minute. This seems to just kind of work out by itself, right? The games doesn't limit you for having the same condition, right? It'd be much harder if the game was like, well, to be able to use this ability, you have to have different conditions. But clearly, you can have the same basically end operation, and it's like, well, survive, right? You know. So now make a tank healer, a paladin, survive for a while, and some main abilities. Seems pretty straightforward, honestly. But I think so. So let's try it. Now, we can just save this thing. Oh yeah, of course, it's accessible. Think about it. Yeah, cool. Can we just smack the boss really hard? He's that right? But anyways, we just build them, right? We got this like yellow one that is really good at buffing everything. And then the red ones are like, the deeps. Deeps one. So I'm gonna like get reds out here. My deeps boys. Exactly. And they will buff them up. And for the first second it looks bad, right? But because I'm stacking up all these guys together, it's gonna be amazing when they all when they get free from the first enemy. Then they're gonna have like buffed glass cannon and fireballs. They will all do like more damage. Look at this. Look at that crazy now. Crazy now. You don't need to have too many yellow, you know, expensive yellow one, but yeah, it has a lot of ammo now, so I need a few of them. So I get that they don't going. Yeah, one right here though. So if I have one yellow, I think it's fine. The yellow now is built for just like buffing everyone else, right? So you don't need to have more than one of them. Maybe you did, maybe later, but you have like 3 ammo. Look at his health now, but it's easy. And here's really bit to heal himself, right? And his nuke over here. I'm looking from this angle. Bam bam. A minute. There we go. He died. I tried to shoot him twice, but I didn't have to. I was trying to do a double nuke, but no. This one, this is the first hard one then. You're also limited by the number of robots. So 1 and 2 are limited by robots. So you have to have higher cost robots, right? On 3 and 4 and the general game, you should have the cheapest cost robot by far, yeah. When you're playing in normal mode, you should just have like, you know, further fire robot is being like super cheap and spam them like crazy. Much better. But on 1 and 2 hard mode, you can't spam robots. You can on 3 and 4. Especially on 4, you should spam fire robot because he's the weakest fire last. But on the 1 here, yeah, you have to kind of like have. You see my build out now, right? I have a little more like they're all kind of expensive, like 21, 60, 20. All the robots are kind of high energy, kind of high health, because yeah, you can only have a few number of robots. So each robot should be kind of tanky, basically. But let's see here. So you can only spawn 3 in total, right? Per. So they have to have like, so you have to have self-heal, you have to be like self-relying and so on, right? Now I have the red one here. Just gonna spawn out him. He's gonna debuff the boss, which is quite important, I would say. Definitely. Now he's gonna think this life is no problem as always. It's like in every game, you should use your life point as a resource, right? Absolutely. So you know, I'm gonna debuff the boss, right? This will be very important here because again, you don't have that many robots in this fight, right? So it's gonna be really useful to have like the boss be weaker, do lower damage and so on. It's kind of fun how I know there's a door over there, but. It's finally on, go for it. I'm gonna blast him away a little bit. Nice one. This looks bad, but it's like perfect. Yeah, honestly, this is like perfect unless I don't die. I know. No, but this is perfect because yes, I have like 200 health points left, but health is a resource all these games, right? So this is like perfect. As long as I don't take more damage right now, then this is the perfect game. Because you want to take maximum damage, right? It sounds weird, but the more damage I take, you know, the more robots I have alive, right? You only have few robots, so by sacrificing my health point to have very low robots now, I can really like, you know, maximize my DPS, right? So you should, it's like, honestly, it's a perfect thing, right? To go down to like 300 health points and one attack on me. That means that I perfectly use my health pool as a resource to beat the boss. This is like every video game, I would say, but especially this game here, we have to DPS the boss hard now. As long as I play it perfectly now, right, there's gonna be no problems. But I think that's a good general understanding of most video game strategies, because, yeah, if you don't do it perfectly right now, which is not easy, I know, perfect, but it really is, because, like, if I had more health points, right, if I had more health points, yeah, then I would be, how to say it, like, if I had more health points, I actually would be playing worse, right? Because in this game here, you can't play it perfectly. Obviously, you can't beat it by also like having more health or whatever, but you want to beat it in time, right? You know, I beat it a bit like, almost immediately now, right? So by sacrificing all my health points, stacking up my dudes, having a lot of debuffs for this boss, like debrave and so on, and then like debrave, deprotect, right? And then you all smack immediately. That's what easier, yeah. And I think that's a lesson you should always learn in most video games. Like think about having, you know, using your health pool as a resource. Like seriously, this is another part of your mana. The hardest one, I would say. Yeah, it's just annoying. So So it starts with Lightning Week. Buff myself, and then I'm gonna hit it. There's also 2 Fire Week. Now I have the fire ones to start describing Ravens, right? Let's see what the deeps. Debuff the boss here, both boosting his damage and reducing his armor. So ice one here. Now I kind of like to blast the boss here. Right, really give you a lot of leeway there. Here you want the electric one. Touching the button. Next time in some case. So that was here, right? But actually I can probably on this end. Now we will need to support this side, right? Because I split up the other side. I think so. The blue was like kind of weird because it's super water was. I suppose everything at once. Actually, ooh, this is interesting. You probably can like use the feet. Maybe damage. Yeah, this is a space. This is a race here, right? But you see its health. So it's probably better to ignore that and just go for the race of the damage race. Like classic this game, right? So you just go for damage race. It's better. Blue one here, yeah. I could see it open up kind of like just killing nothing. I hope so. It's a little bit depending how many enemies spawns on the bottom. Come on. It's like one blast now, come on. DPS racing it. I think it's fine. So, I mean, sometimes in this game you have to just kind of adapt to see, well, okay, it's open there in the middle, right? But I think that's the hardest one, honestly. Yeah, there's been a few attempts to make it kind of like short. But one thing I will say is that I've done it like 5-6 times now to try this out to get like the best build or whatever. And on this one, it is just hard because we only have 6 robots, right? So it's by far the hardest one, and you kind of learn just how it spawns though. On here you really have to learn like, okay, it's like the first one is electric, then it's fire. So here you have to really kind of just master the order of the spawning, so on. But I would say by far this much of the hardest one. He has salad feel and so on, but otherwise it's a fight. It doesn't limit you that much. The final boss guy limits your one of your types for a while, right? But this limits your number of robots, which is much harder because otherwise you can spawn like 10 robots. They can heal each other. They can keep staying alive, right? On this one you can't get like 10 plus robots to just constantly heal, because if you get a 10 plus robot, right, like a dozen of robots, eventually they're just gonna overwhelm the boss and kill him in like a second, right? So that's his strategy otherwise, but this boss you can't do it. No! Oh, come on! There are all 3 of them. Damn it. stop shots. There we go. So kill him before he gets running. There we go. Spamming fire robots and stop shots. That's about my... There we go. Yeah, just stop shot. But this, I mean, it makes it so much easier. It's so much easier by just like maximizing your how to say it, maximizing the how to stack up basically, right? So we got another one. Now let's play it again, right? But it's kind of basic, I mean, gaming strats, right? So I'm using fire as glass cannons, and like I said, it could be either way. And then what I'm doing is that I instead of having the fire guys focusing on like shooting ice, I want to good against. Instead, I made them shoot everything, and then I get them like long range missiles. And then I made the fire guys basically stack upright. So I put all the fire guys used to be like shooting everything, the moves, but they keep becoming more of them. And I made them super cheap, right, glass cannon wise. Then I made the yellow one a buffer, so the yellow can buff upright. Yeah, so that means speed, I think. Look at the build here again, right? These will make them stack up instead. You don't care about it. I think it's better. Yeah, for your DPS tank, I would say it's better to ignore elements, right? You still should probably use this element because you need someone. Yeah, I tried before having like try to reverse it, but you have to have someone to still do like their own element. It's better, right? And then I have, you know, like the blue one is like tanks or something, right? So it actually is kind of good against my spec. This one is a kind of anti my build, but I still think it's pretty useful because as long as you spam the red cheap ones often as you can, it kind of works anyway. But certainly this one does block you to some extent from like having this like super spammy ones, which is seemingly the best strategy by far, I would say, in this game. So like right now I'm still spamming out the red one, you know. You don't have to, right? I like them being here though, but I'm used like in here. As soon as I can, I'm spelling red. So I meant. One. No, yellow is a buffer, right? Sending out yellow after two reds here. So they're really good. Give them bravery to one. Get some up. Or have a haste heal. Now the blue one will freeze him, okay? This is a good perfect moment to like combat them. Yeah. Buff them again. So the blue one has stop freeze. Pretty good to use now, but yeah, that red one here. It's really good, I would say. Yeah, they always spawn the cheap one, even if you... Yeah, I kind of want to get free stuff, so the blue one can stop him, right? And that's gonna really cross the boss of healing himself. It's a very important ability to have the stop time. You need to make sure that, there we go, that it gets the correct timing for it. Look at it now, so now it's stopped. Oh yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah, I mean it blocks them from healing himself. Incredible both of them game. It also costs like 50 points though. Yeah, it's super expensive, but it's so useful. Look at the boss can... He blocks it from healing himself. Yeah, this is so good. So the biggest issue the boss will regain life sometimes, right? But yeah, so That's definitely the key ability to have. One robot should have the stop one. And I would say you shouldn't have too many stop ones, right? You don't need to have like super cheap stop guys. Instead, I prefer going, yeah, like super, you know, like one very expensive one instead. That's the video, guys. Hope you guys liked it. I just want to show you this panel here. This is basically my 2 loadouts for the different hard boss fights, right? To the right side, the all set 1 here. This is basically my DPS set that I use for the 3rd and the 4th hard boss. This you see here, the fire robot T2 is incredibly cheap, so you can spam them like crazy. They will haste themselves, right, and do more damage of course. And the Faraga shot is based on getting kills, which of course they will because they're DPS glass cannons. This is a very good, like, quick high DPS thing, easily beat the healing boss and so on, right? And the yellow robot then is, you know, buffing them, bravery and so on, and the blue one has stop, right? Stop very important, right? Stop it in the end, tanky. The left one is the build I use for the 1st and 2nd hard boss. I have an other build as well for 2nd hard boss, and also one of 1st, but whatever. This I think is the best, one of the best ones for the first 2, where you have a much more tanky spec, right? A more healing spec. We have Cure, multi-shot for the blue one, but also nullifying its own weakness, so you can use heat constantly, you stay alive, because you're going to have a few robots on the first 2. Like us here then, the red now has health instead of being a glass cannon, it's actually tanky, and debuffing the boss more important now, right? So debrave, for example, on yellow, is more important now, because you only have a few robots, that you want to keep the few ones you have alive, right? Where, of course, in the 3rd and 4th fight, it's all about DPSing it, so then you don't need like debrave. The protect though, that's still good, but debrave, not really. So guys, hope you guys, subscribe and have a great day.